Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a super exciting video planned. So, it is February and that is the month of love, hearts, Valentine's Day. We are going to be making 4 different crafts for the second most important holiday of the month. You guys want to know what the first one is? It's February 15th, the day that all the candy goes on sale at the store. I know you guys are with me on that one. Who could resist 50% off candy? Like, come on. If you are excited about that or want to have some ideas on how to decorate your room or gifts to give to friends and family during this holiday, then keep watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Love you guys. Hi guys, okay, so for the first craft we are going to be making an ombre painting. So all you will need is a picture frame. You can choose whatever size or color you want. And then I took the paper from inside the frame and traced it onto a white piece of paper to make our canvas. And then you also need paintbrushes because we are painting. And then you'll need a Sharpie for later, and then however many paints and whatever colors you would like to use in your painting. You can choose whatever you want. A little palette or something to put your paint on before you dip your brush into it. I have this little hard one because we are indeed making crafts for Valentine's Day. So if you want to find out how to make this painting, follow along. Okay, so I moved the camera angle so that you guys could follow along and see what I was doing. So first off, we just have to put our paint on the palette. Okay, so now that we have our paint, we're just gonna start and we're gonna go lightest to the darkest color. So you just take your first paintbrush, you put the lightest color on your brush, and then we're just gonna make this very abstract. So we're just gonna make lines. It's just gonna look like brush strokes because that's essentially what it is. You can do however many coats you want. I did 2 just so it was a little darker. Then we're going to go in with our second color. Then as you can see, I still have some more space at the bottom of my canvas, so I'm just going to start the pattern over once again. And this is what my canvas turned out looking like. So we are just going to set it aside for now so that it can dry, and we will come back to it later. So we have let our canvas dry for quite a bit of time. It's completely dry, and we are going to put on the final little touch and put it into the frame now. So since it's Valentine's Day, I'm going to make it a little more about love. So I'm going to write love always at the bottom right corner of my picture. So what I like to do first is stencil it out with a pencil and where I want it to be and how I want it to look. I usually do cursive, and then I'm just going to take a black Sharpie and I'm going to trace over what I just wrote. That's how mine turned out. Just simple and little in the corner, and now it is time to put it in our frame and see how it looks. And then there you go. Cute little frame that you can put in your room to celebrate Valentine's Day. Okay, so the second craft we are going to be making is the heart garlands from the intro part of this video. You will need a glue stick and then whatever paper you want. I just have pink and white. Next up, we're going to do our heart garland, and for that one you will need your color pieces of paper. And I have a paper cutter just to make it easier for straight lines, but you totally don't have to do that. I measure out 1 inch and I make 1-inch strips. For the sake of the video, I went ahead and did this off camera. And I have all my strips here completed. So once you have all your strips cut out, you're going to go ahead and fold each of them in half like this so that it makes a point at the end of it. Okay, so once you have all your paper folded, you're going to take your glue and you're going to apply it to the end of the strip. And then this might seem tricky, but it's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. You're going to fold in this end to match this end, and then you're going to line them up just so. And then that is going to make your little heart. And you're going to want to just keep repeating that with all of your strips. Now comes the fun part of putting them all together. So you can start with a pink or white, it totally does not matter. And you're going to take your glue stick, and in between these folds right here, you're going to apply glue on both sides and in the middle, so that once you take the opposing color or the same color, you stick the point of that one into the crease of the first part, and then you press them together so that they stay. And then you have two hearts connected. So then you have your completed garland of hearts. Alright, and the third craft we are making are some Cupid's arrows. So you will need some wooden dowels, you'll need a paintbrush, heart stencils, some feathers, you can do whatever color you want, and then some yarn. And then you will also need some paint again and a piece of paper. So we are going to make some hearts to cut out for the arrow ends. Just start this step and then we'll come back to how to complete the arrows at the end, just to let the paint dry. And what you do is you just place it down on the paper, and then you use your paint from the first craft, and you're just going to go ahead and fill that in. Depending on how many arrows you want to make, you're going to have to double the hearts, because you're going to need 2 hearts per one Cupid's arrow. So then we just have to let the hearts dry. So we're going to set them aside with our canvas, and we'll come back to them in a little bit. So we're going to take back our pink hearts from the beginning, and we're going to cut them out. So once you have your hearts, you're going to set them aside one more time, but we are one step closer to having the cutest little Cupid's bows you could ever imagine. So next we are going to apply the feathers to the end of each bow. I went ahead and already did 2 off camera, so they turn out like this, but I will teach you how to do it right now. So what you're going to do is you're going to need some tape. So I took 2 feathers per bow. Okay, so I took 2 feathers per dowel, and you're going to sandwich the dowel in between the 2 feathers, and you're just going to take a piece of Scotch tape. It doesn't matter which tape you use, because you're not going to be able to see it after the next step. So you just go ahead and you tape that on there, like so, and then this is how it looks. Okay, so next step, to cover the middle of the wooden dowel, we're going to use some yarn. So I went ahead and pre-cut some. It's about 2.5 feet. You take the first one. So we're going to tie a knot up close to the feathers, and I would go ahead and double knot it just so that it doesn't move. So now we have it attached to yarn like this, and all we're going to do is wrap it around repeatedly. Go ahead and cover the tape, and then once you get past you can go quickly and space out the yarn, because you can always push it up like so, and then it's all in one spot. So if you just repeat that a couple of times, it will make the process go quicker. And once you get to the end, we're just going to tape it off, because it will be covered with the hearts in just a moment. At the end, like so. And now comes the finishing touch. We are about to add the little hearts to make it an actual arrow. It's time to do the last step of this craft, and that is applying the little arrowhead. So you're going to take your hearts, and you're going to want the pointy side facing out. You're going to sandwich a dowel in between the 2 hearts. You're going to take another piece of tape, and you're going to roll it so that it becomes double-sided. If you had double-sided tape, that would work too, maybe even better than this. And you just put it on there so that it attaches the first heart to the dowel, and then you sandwich the next one, and you just press it together so that you have a finished little Cupid's arrow. Okay, and here are your finished arrows. Alrighty, and the last craft is going to be another heart garland. You will just need a heart stencil once again. You can use the same ones you used in craft 3, that's totally fine. And then some more paper, because we're going to paint some hearts, we're going to cut them out, and then we're going to string them along. So if you want to keep your yarn from craft 3 close by, I would advise that. So I just went ahead and did the same exact thing I did for craft number 3, and I am making 3 hearts in each color, so I will have 12 total hearts for our other heart garland. For your hearts that you painted with the other crafts, you're going to go ahead and take this time to cut them out once they have completely dried. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're just going to cut them all out, and as I said before, I have 12 of them. And you'll also need another piece of yarn. So now comes the fun part where we get to put the garland all together. So you're going to take your yarn and you're going to lay it out flat. Take the hearts and you're going to place them down, paint side to the table, and then you line them up and space them out however you want. After you have them lined up how you would like, you take your yarn and place it on top of the hearts, and then you take your tape and you tape down each heart to the yarn. There we go, you have your finished garland that you can hang up. Thank you guys for sticking around. I hope you guys enjoyed all those crafts. If you try any of them out, go ahead and tag me on all my social media. It will be linked below. And tune in next week for a brand new video. Thanks guys.